Hello and welcome to One Trinity Place in San Antonio, Texas, as we're all set for a SCAC matchup between the University of Texas Lutheran Bulldogs and the Trinity University Tigers. As you see the Bulldogs starting lineup on your screen, it'll be Eric Vasquez leading it off, followed by Hayden Kessle Ring, then Xavier Arias, followed by PV Drain, Tyler Post, the reigning SCAC Player of the Year, Bourgeois, Godot, and then Green doing the catching. And on the mound for the Tigers, it's Joseph Shyvana. Comes in with an undefeated record of 6-0, an ERA of 1.72. So we're about ready to get set between these two SCAC rivals. They met in the tournament last year. They meet again today as it's grounded to second. Harris handles it and throws to first for out number one. I'm Cole Isaacson, joined alongside Reed Rosales. And Reed, it should be a great game today between these two rivals.
It really should, and Shyvana with that first pitch right there, showing what he's best at, generating that weak contact for good grounders for the fielders to get, getting that first out of the game.
First pitch, low for ball one to Kessle Ring, the center fielder. Hayden Kessle Ring, a senior from New Braunfels, Texas. Fouls that off to make it 0-2, or 1-1, I should say. He's hitting .316 on the year. No hits in his last game versus Schreiner.
And it looks like they called catcher's interference on Lazara, and they'll issue the free base.
So the first base runner reaches for Texas Lutheran, and it brings up Xavier Arias. And he takes ball one. Shyvana used to working through traffic, an ERA or whip of 1.38 on the season. Hit in the air, but the play not made. Looked like it was too far into foul territory.
Yeah, and you're right, Cole. This is a anticipated matchup. This is a matchup we may see come conference tournament time, as both of these teams really making a push, as there's a lot of contention for making the conference tournament.
Texas Lutheran currently, I believe, in the 4th spot in the standings. 6-5 record in conference, so they're in the thick of it right now. Needing as many wins as they can get. The pitch outside for 2-1 count. Shyvana working with the runner on first, one out on the board. He'll check on him again. It's something we see frequently. Shyvana likes to take his time, check on runners at first. High, ball 3. Strike called, grabbed the upper edge.
Yeah, good location by Shyvana. Just trying to win the 3-2 count early on. It's a high-pressure situation.
And he loses him, ball 4. Runner rounding second, headed for third. Lazara's throw, not in time. Now the other runner goes to second base, and 2 are in scoring position for Texas Lutheran. Great base running by the Bulldogs, sets up a big inning.
Yeah, it does, and just a series of unfortunate events for the Tigers. The pitch getting away from Lazara, and then the throw to third getting away from the third baseman, Kai Tinker, just causing chaos on the base paths. 2 runners in scoring position this early on for the Bulldogs. They are salivating at the opportunity.
As a meeting on the mound, Tim Scannell coming out pretty early to talk to his pitcher. Mentioned earlier, used to working through this kind of traffic, though 2 runners in scoring position, only 1 out. Double play no longer in play. So now the cleanup hitter, Adam PV, waits. PV coming in with a batting average of .320 on the season. Kessle Ring waits on third. Arias waits on second. Grounded to Shyvana. He'll take the out at first, but the Texas Lutheran Bulldogs score first. It's 1-0 TLU.
Yeah, and if you're the Tigers, obviously you surrender the run, but it's still a better outcome than PV sending something out into the outfield and scoring both of those runners, because now you have an opportunity to strand the runner on third.
First pitch taken, ball one. So that's Carson Drain, senior, making his 21st appearance of the season. Fouled off, and it's 1-1. TLU trying to extend what is already a 1-0 lead, getting to Joseph Shyvana early. Good take, 2-1.
Yeah, really good take. Ball that broke down below the zone.
Hit into left. It'll score a run. An RBI single extends the lead for TLU.
And right now, it's the perfect start for the Bulldogs. You can see the pitch staying in the zone. Put it out into left field. It's a perfect AB for TLU. Going up 2-0. It's what they want to do early on.
And it'll bring up Tyler Post. Probably the most dangerous hitter in the conference. He takes strike one. The batting average a little down for Post this year, but that's largely because people are pitching around him. He leads the nation in walks with 27. Grounds that up the middle. Baker handles it, spins, and throws to end the inning, but not before TLU takes a 2-0 lead. The Tigers will be up to bat when we come back on Tiger Network. Welcome back to San Antonio, Texas. You see the Tigers lineup on your screen. Leading it off will be Jack Peterson, followed by Woodward. Lazaro doing the catching. Christian Holloway, followed by Monson, the DH. Kai Tinker at third. Ty Preston returning from injury in left field. Then Colt Harris at second. Jack Baker at short. And pitching for Texas Lutheran, it's Brendan Beard, coming off a 10-inning complete game against Schreiner. You see the numbers on your screen. Very impressive. A 2.42 ERA and a 4-0 record. As the first pitch is fouled off by Peterson. Reed, it's going to be quite the challenge for these Tigers to get to Beard.
It really is. And I think really, the two players that we'll be focusing on the most are Joseph Shyvana and Brendan Beard, and how they take on two dangerous hitting lineups.
Pitch away, it's 1-1.
For Beard, 10-inning performance. You don't see that very often at any level of baseball, unless you're looking over at Japan maybe. So very good, skilled pitcher for the Bulldogs.
In the zone, strike 2.
He only fell 1 inning short of their program record in innings pitched for a game. Had a pitcher go 11 innings.
Wow. 1-2 pitch. Fouled off, so Peterson will see another one. Jack Peterson, quite the threat in the leadoff position, hitting .315 on the year. Comes in with a .551 slugging percentage. Good take, evens the count at 2-2. Fouled off, he stays alive, and Reed, it feels like that's what the Tigers are going to want to do, extend this pitch count, get him out of there as soon as possible.
They really are, and staying patient will be key. But Brendan Beard, he's 10th in the country in terms of strikeout to walk ratio with 11.4. So Beard, he's getting guys swinging a lot and catching them looking. And for these Tigers, they're going to have to stay steady and try to draw as many walks as possible to a guy who doesn't give up that many.
Peterson works a full count. Takes a ball high, and there is a walk, a leadoff walk for Jack Peterson. Nobody out, and a runner on first for Trinity.
And Peterson on the base paths. That has to be a whole lot of pressure for Beard, because Peterson doesn't like staying on first base all that often. We'll see how the Tigers tackle the base paths this time around. Remember in the conference tournament when they stole, I think it was 13 bases in one game up there. I'm sure Peterson would be happy if it was another similar performance today.
It's a rematch of that conference championship game, the final game in that weekend between TLU and Trinity, winner advancing to the SCAC, or I should say advancing out of the SCAC to the regional. You're right, the Tigers had their way on the base pad, stealing double digits. We'll see if they try a similar approach. Peterson 10 of 12 on stolen bases on the season. First pitch to Woodward lands for strike 1, and this duo has wreaked some havoc. Woodward coming off a 5-hit game against McMurray, but he's also shown the ability to lay down the sacrifice bunt and reach. He'll check on Peterson, he's safe.
Yeah, a wise decision to check on Peterson to be sure. And Woodward, just that incredible speed allows him to get on base so often when he drops a bunt.
Takes a pitch in the dirt, 1-1.
But right now, staying patient against Beard, as both Tiger bats haven't been very aggressive at the plate so far, playing a more passive approach.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. So a 1-2 count once again. Peterson was in this same situation, was able to work a leadoff walk. We'll see what the first-year Caleb Woodward can do. Beard threw over 120 pitches through those 10 innings. We'll see if he has similar pitch count in him today. As he is very concerned with Jack Peterson over at first base.
Yeah, those are some good pickoff throws, getting closer and closer every time. I'd be surprised if he did it again.
Fouled off. Woodward will stay in the box. Tigers trying to match a 2-run half inning by the Bulldogs. TLU currently with a 2-0 lead. Outside, throw to first, not in time as Peterson dives back safely.
It's an interesting play there because that pitch almost unintentionally worked like a pitch out almost to try and check Peterson over at first. Peterson right now content to stay at first base.
Now a 2-2 pitch. Fouled off again. This has got to be frustrating for Beard. Such a good outing last time, 10 innings pitched. Only 1 earned run through that frame. These Tiger bats refusing to go down easily. I check on him again. Talked about it earlier in the year. Jack Peterson was caught stealing on his first ever stolen base attempt here at Trinity. Had a streak of over 30 consecutive steals after that. But he's been caught stealing twice this year, only 10 for 12. Woodward hits that to left. And the jumping catch made by Godot for out number 1.
What a great catch by Godot out in left field. With the wind as it is right now, the play already isn't easy because it's a far drifting ball. You're a little bit out of position. You got to make the perfect jump. And then the wind shifting the ball around. Great leaping catch by Godot. I mean, these Bulldogs have some really good players and some guys who can ball on their team.
So now the catcher, Nick Lazera, up to the plate. Lazera hitting at .379 on the year. He's been on a heater as of late. Still only 1 out on the board. As Beard is still very concerned with Jack Peterson over at first base. They didn't try and run him on the last at-bat. We'll see if that strategy changes at all. Outside, 1-0.
Good take by Lazara there. You know, he's been pretty consistently near the top of this Tiger order the entire year. They really trust in him to get a hit and to advance the runners early on.
Check swing, didn't go around, and it's 2-0. Thought about it for a second, but now ahead in the count. So far, a very patient approach by these Trinity hitters. Strike 1.
Yeah, good ball that broke into the zone by Beard. Just wanting to put one in there to get a strike on the board. Lazara just still collecting information.
How many pickoff attempts do you think that was? Which number?
Man, we're getting close to double digits. You got to remember that, you know, we don't track those on the pitch count, but you're trying to pick the runner off when you're throwing.
2-1 pitch. Now he goes. That's through the gap into right field. Peterson rounds second. He heads for third. The hit and run executed to perfection.
Yeah, and this is a play that the Tigers love to run. Send the runner for a hit and run. It works like a charm yet again. You have runners at the corners for your cleanup bat, who's been really good this year.
Christian Holloway, who's missed the last several games with an injury, hitting .299 on the year. But when he's been healthy, a very good bat in this cleanup spot. Of course, most notably remembered for that comeback against the Babson Beavers here opening weekend. Reed, you were here for that game, a grand slam over the left field wall to give the Tigers the win. Cuts at that one, it's 0-1.
Yeah, he's got a lot of really good power in the bat. Over at Shriner, he just absolutely destroyed a ball into left field. Got to be careful if you're Beard on the mound right now, because that lead that the Bulldogs have can quickly disappear.
Good take, 1-1. This Tiger offense trying to help out their pitcher, Joseph Shyvana. Believe those runs go down as unearned runs, but still always better to work in a tie game than a deficit. Another close pitch, 2-1.
Yeah, really close pitch there. Trying to work the inner part of the plate. But Holloway not swinging at those pitches.
Hit in the air, playable, and Post makes the catch for out number 2.
And that's exactly what you want if you're the Bulldogs right now. Easy pop-up to catch. You put an out on the board. And now you're really forcing the issue on the Tigers with multiple outs.
Still an opportunity for Trinity, though. Only 2 outs on the board, runners at the corners, and a guy, talk about people who have been hot, Alex Monson, definitely up on that list, hitting .380 on the season. Played the Tigers' last game on Tuesday against McMurray, hit a home run, his second of the season as he takes strike 1. Monson in at DH today. A lefty bat usually appears when righties are on the mound. Ball in the dirt, 1-1.
They're really making Beard work here in this first frame. He's been throwing a ton of pitches. Just really working the counts.
Grounded to second. They go the short way to end the inning. The Tigers get some traffic but can't put any runs across. It's still 2-0 TLU as we head to the top of the second. Bulldogs up to bat when we come back. Top of the second in the Alamo City, 2-0 TLU leads Trinity. Tigers couldn't put any runs on the board in the bottom of the first, but they definitely made Beard work.
Yeah, they certainly did. Shyvana's pitch count right now at 16. Beard at 26. Through 10 more pitches, and that's not counting the pickoff attempts that he had over at first.
First pitch from Shyvana fouled off. Yeah, if you were to flash those pitch counts and say, guess who's up 2-0, I don't know if you would guess correctly. A 1 to Bourgeois. Grounded to third. Tinker makes the throw across the diamond, and Holloway applies the tag for out number 1.
Good on Holloway. Throw brings him off first base, but applies the tag. Good heads-up play.
It's now Godot up. hitting .384 on the year. So many good batting averages throughout this TLU lineup, so potent offensively. Of course, a lot of these role players can be overshadowed by Tyler Post at times, but very good in their own right. And is grounded to short. Baker makes a strong throw and 2 down quickly.
Yeah, all that caused by a great pitch from Shyvana. That breaking ball going down and in. Weak contact. Easy enough play for Baker. Still had to really chuck it, though, because Godot really fast being an outfielder. Yeah, 2 outs on the board.
Now the catcher, Chance Green, hitting .158 on the year. Takes strike 1. Green, a senior from Round Rock, Texas. Was not a regular to start there, but he's played the last 5 games. This is 6th in a row. Hit weakly to second. Throw to first in time. Oh, not in time. They say Harris's throw did not beat the runner, and that Green is safe.
Now let's see it on the replay. It's a close play. But Bulldogs get to live to have another AB.
So it'll go down as a base hit for Green, as this is hit into the left field gap, and it could be trouble. Green running around third, and he will be safe. A double for Vasquez in the leadoff spot, and all of a sudden TLU in business with 2 outs.
Yeah, once again threatening to score in back-to-back innings. And if you're the Tigers, you don't want those 2 runs that came on the board because of the errors to come back to haunt you. Shyvana really needs to work out of the jam.
Hayden Kessle Ring up for the 2nd time today. Reached on catcher's interference his 1st time up. Also came around to score. Ahead 1-0. Think about how close that play was to being out number 3 just before the double. Now Shyvana in some serious trouble. Pitch misses, 2-0. TLU trying to add on. Now 3-0.
Yeah, just really pitching carefully. Perhaps not the worst thing in the world if the runner's put on base, because then you get the force outs everywhere.
Walk loads the bases. 3-0 pitch. Strike called, outside edge. Two runners in scoring position. Arias waits on deck. Fouled off, and the count is full. So Shyvana battling back in this at-bat.
Yeah, really challenging the batter with those pitches. Just trying to get out of the inning, put a 0 on the board.
Time called as Lazera will go out to meet with his pitcher. Shyvana, the Friday night starter for every opening weekend series the Tigers have had so far this season. And he's used to dealing with sticky situations. Think about a few weekends ago against Schreiner, ending his outing, getting out of a bases-loaded jam in the 7th. Now a 3-2 pitch. Away, ball 4, and that loads him up.
And ultimately, a good at-bat. Just really making Shyvana work the count. And now, just another tough Bulldog bat coming up to the plate. Just more opportunities to score every time.
Grounded to Baker at short. Flip to second in time to end the inning. The Bulldogs leave them loaded as Shyvana gets out of another jam. We head to the bottom of the 2nd, 2-0 Texas Lutheran. Bottom of the second in San Antonio. Trinity up to bat once again, and it's Kai Tinker, the third baseman, set to lead off this inning, hitting .295 on the year with 13 RBI. OPS of over 700. Trinity in a 2-0 hole. Joseph Shyvana able to get out of a bases loaded jam to keep it that way. As now the bats will try to match. Trinity offensively coming off a game where they scored 20 runs against McMurray, had 24 hits, their most since 2017. Tinker flares that, and the catch is made by Vasquez at second. But what people don't realize, even though they won 20-8, they were down at several points in that game. McMurray battling back early. It wasn't until the middle innings when Trinity extended the lead. So not a situation these Tigers are unfamiliar with.
Certainly not. In many ways, they've kind of been the comeback kids plenty of times this year. Played tough series against Whitewater. Had to come back, kind of the mental factor of being beat and having 30 runs scored on you. But to come back and split that series, it's shown how good this Tiger team can be mentally at times.
We mentioned the Babson game, and then even game 3 of that Whitewater series, they needed a grand slam by Pierce Matthews to come back in that game. Now up to bat, it's Ty Preston. Missed the last several weekends with a nagging quad injury, something that he re-aggravated from earlier in the year, ahead 2-0. Take strike one.
And if you're the Tigers, here you still want to make Beard work. You already have him at a quarter of the way to 100 pitches. You really want to push TLU to dig into their bullpen.
Pitch misses. It's 3-1.
Just get the ace off the mound as fast as you can, and then start doing damage when they're forced to dig deep into their bullpen, and then you hurt them later on in the series.
Inside, ball 4, and the second consecutive leadoff walk for Beard.
Talked about Ty Preston not coming up to the plate all that much this season, but when he does come up, he has proven to be very effective. Whether it be a timely hit or a drawn walk right here, he has been finding himself on base quite a bit for the amount of times he's gotten up to the plate.
Has to dive back, does so safely. He's now up to the plate, another senior, Colt Harris, the second baseman. Harris hitting .258 on the year. It's his 28th appearance. He'll throw back to first. Preston back safely once again. Though you heard some groans from the Texas Lutheran dugout. It was a close play.
Yeah, close play, but I think that he did get the hand on the bag before the tag was applied.
Close pitch, but not given the call. It's 2-0.
Yeah, really working the count are these Tiger bats.
I'll check on Preston again. We've seen that a lot from Beard already today. Seems like he likes to check on runners at first, settle in. These two teams have similar stolen base numbers across the year. Or maybe they're even thinking back to the SCAC championship game when the Tigers had double-digit steals against them. And that gets him. Harris shakes it off and he heads to first base. Back-to-back base runners reach for Trinity.
And both of them not coming from a hit, but from just a mistake from Beard. That one just comes in, hits Harris, and now jam on the bases yet again for Beard. Able to work out of it in the first frame. He'll have to do it again in this one.
Now the bottom of the order. Jack Baker, hitting after his 2 longtime teammates. This is the 3rd consecutive senior in the batting order. Runners on first and second, nobody out. Popped up, but out of play.
And I'm sure what TLU wants is another player with 1 out on the board to pop it up and get them that 2nd out.
Wind coming in from right field here in San Antonio. 0-1 pitch. Fouled off, and it's 0-2. Preston waits on second. Harris on first, a walk and a hit by pitch respectively. Beard with a chance to get out of it. Double play a possibility. 0-2 pitch. High, ball 1. It's another thing we've seen already early in this game, Reed. These Tigers not afraid to hit with 2 strikes.
Yeah, certainly not. It's really made Beard have to reevaluate how he's approached certain batters. It's forced him into some awkward situations.
Hit in the air to shallow right. And the catch made by Drain for out number 2.
A great cutoff catch by Moujwa, getting off the throw from Drain from right field. Preston wasn't already back at second base. May have been trouble there, but no trouble for now.
So now Jack Peterson comes up to the plate for the 2nd time today. Worked a walk in his first appearance. Now works with a runner in scoring position and another one on first. Thinks about it, but takes strike 1. TLU out hitting Trinity so far 3-1, but the Tigers have had opportunities in both innings, including this one. They've found other ways to get on base. Hit by pitch, walks as they throw off the backside. Preston back safely.
Yeah, this was one of the Tiger bats reached by walking, extends his on-base streak to 10.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. And Beard 1 strike away from getting out of another jam.
Beard just trying to settle in. The good thing for TLU is that it hasn't been off of hits. The Tigers maybe aren't generally seeing Beard well.
Just high, ball 1.
It's just been self-inflicted wounds on the part of Beard.
Peterson was the leadoff man. This is Beard's 2nd time through the order. 1-2 pitch. In the dirt. And it actually hit him. Gets Peterson's foot, and that will load the bases.
And once again, it's just a mistake by Beard. You can see the pitch breaks too far in. Yeah, shoe shines Peterson.
So a hit by pitch. Peterson reaches for the 2nd time today, and the first-year Caleb Woodward works with 3 seniors on the base paths. Woodward flew out to left the last time he was up. Take strike 1.
And Woodward's bat has been pretty hot lately, so a good player to have up if you are Trinity. Beard's gonna have to work especially carefully against a dangerous freshman.
Outside, 1-1. Preston on third, Harris waits on second, Peterson on first. Tigers in a 2-0 hole. Hit to left, And the catch made by Kessle Ring in center. A good ranging play to end the inning. Tigers leave them loaded. TLU hangs on to their 2-0 lead as we take it to the third. Top of the third on the campus of Trinity University, 2-0 Texas Lutheran has the lead. Joseph Shyvana back on the mound, and he fires strike one to the cleanup hitter, Adam Peavy. Peavy grounded out to Shyvana the last time he was up, but drove in the first Texas Lutheran run. So he has an RBI on the day. That pitch misses to make it 1-1.
And certainly something not uncommon for Peavy, second in the SCAC in that category of RBIs. Now 31 to his name.
In the dirt, 2-1. That pitch misses, 3-1. Shyvana trying to work a clean inning this time, hasn't had one yet. Got the first two batters out in the last frame pretty quickly, but it unraveled a little bit after that. Now 3-1 pitch, swing and a miss, and it brings the count full.
Yeah, Shyvana's been really attacking with those breaking balls, really trying to attack the zone, get the Bulldogs to chase.
3-2 pitch. Hit in the air to right, Woodward under it, and he makes the catch for out number one. Shyvana able to battle back from a 3-1 count.
Yeah, great sequence there from Shyvana. And having Peavy just fly out harmlessly takes the stress off a little bit. No base runners on for now.
As a senior, Carson Drain up now. Works with nobody on and one out. It takes strike one. Drain hitting .241 on the year so far. 1 for 1 in this game with a base hit. Went around and it's 0-2. Way high, 1-2. Away, and that evens the count. TLU coming in from 30 minutes away. Seguin making the bus trip over. There's strike three, locates that pitch to get Peavy looking. That's out number two.
Yeah, great pitch from Shyvana there. Breaking ball catches the lower part of the zone. Drain will just have to head back to the dugout, thinking about what he'll do next time.
So Drain strikes out, and now the dangerous Tyler Post up. He takes ball 1. The numbers for Post this season, .223 on the year in terms of batting average, .388 slugging, but still somebody that Trinity wants to be very careful of today. When around, it's 1-1. The numbers for Post last season, a .362 batting average with 75 RBI, 16 home runs. Earned him SCAC Player of the Year. Just misses 2-1. People being very careful with him so far this year. That's what Shyvana's doing right now. Now in a 3-1 count. Swing and a miss, now 3-2.
And it's okay to be careful with Post. Last year he was third-team All-American.
Away, ball 4, and Tyler Post adds another walk to his nation-leading total.
It's easy to see why. He can really hammer a ball out of any park in the nation. He is a force to be reckoned with. And sometimes surrendering the walk may not be the worst idea when going against Tyler Post.
So now Chase Bourgeois in the batter's box. Takes ball 1. You know, you figured that at-bat from Post was about to happen sooner or later. Leads the nation in walks. Shyvana, an unusually high whip for somebody with such a low ERA. Walks quite a few batters, walked 4 in his last outing at Austin College. Check swing did not go, and it's 3-0. But Shyvana told us a few weeks ago about the difference between good walks and bad walks. 2 outs, nobody on first. As he fires strike 1. Probably not the worst walk in the world when you consider it was Tyler Post that he walked.
Yes, certainly. What he doesn't want to do is put him on second base.
As he checks on him.
Just have to work with another TLU bat and Bourgeois.
Hit in the air to right, but foul. So Shyvana once again able to battle back to a 3-2 count. We'll see if he can finish the job this time.
He's done that several times. He's down this count 3-0. Now full count. Big moment.
Runner goes, but that's ball 4. As Bourgeois takes his trip to first base, back-to-back walks handed out by Joseph Shyvana.
Yeah, and for now, Chase Bourgeois will win that battle of the players who wear number 3.
So now Godot steps up to the batter's box. 0 for 1 today, grounded out to short. Takes strike 1.
Godot had that great play out in left field. This is a TLU squad that's the best fielding team in the SCAC. Got some gold gloves in the outfield. Need to turn them into silver bats.
Doesn't get the call, and it's 1-1. Lazara will head back to check on his pitcher. Base traffic once again for TLU. Shyvana able to retire the first 2 batters, but these next 2 reaching by way of the walk, not what he wanted. Some high-stress innings for both of these starting pitchers. Away, ball 2.
And TLU has been doing pretty much all of their damage with 2 outs on the board. All of their hits have come with 2 outs. So Shyvana's been getting the first 2 outs fairly consistently.
Grounded up the middle, a good play by Harris. Goes the short way, and they get the out in time. That ends the inning. 2 more left stranded for the Bulldogs. It's still 2-0 TLU. We'll be back after this short break on Tiger Network. And welcome back to Trinity University. TLU leads the Tigers 2-0 as the switch-hitting catcher Nick Lazaro step into the batter's box for the second time today. He's 1 for 1 with a base hit. See, that average has jumped up to 386 on the year. He's been hot lately. Hits that one to center. Kessle Ring under it, and he makes the catch for out number 1. So very different than what we've been seeing from at-bats so far in this game from Trinity.
Yeah, just swinging on the first pitch and making that contact. It's an easy first out for the Bulldogs. When I think the Tigers really want to start working the count even more for Beard. Already have him near the half-century mark for his pitch count.
As Holloway takes strike 1. 21 RBIs on the season for Christian Holloway despite missing some time with injury. Fouled back in our direction, and it's 0-2. Beard trying to get a quick 1-2-3 inning. Has not had one yet. Neither pitcher has. High ball 1.
And we'll see if Beard tries to get Holloway chasing at anything since he is so far ahead in the count.
He does try to get him to chase, but to no avail. It's 2-2. Hit hard to right, back towards the wall, and the catch is made. What a play by Drain in right field. He reels in out number 2.
Yeah, just having to range a long, long way. And that's an awkward catch to make. And Drain coming off the wall just fine as well. Just some really good plays by these Bulldogs outfielders early on in San Antonio.
DH Alex Monson steps up to the plate. You mentioned it earlier, Reed, the best fielding team in the conference. They're showing it today. Monson takes strike 1 on the outside edge. 0 for 1 today, grounded into a fielder's choice that ended the inning. Outside 1-1. Reed, it was a sunny day mostly, but the clouds have really settled in.
Yeah, it's made the atmosphere maybe a bit more dreary.
Hit in the air to left center. Kessle Ring there, and he makes the catch. A 1-2-3 inning worked by Beard, his first one of the game, as we head to the top of the fourth on Tiger Network. 2-0, TLU has the lead. Top of the fourth between TLU and Trinity as the catcher Chance Green up to the bat. Green, the 9-hole hitter, 1 for 1 today with a single. He takes strike 1. Trinity and TLU meeting for the first time today. First game of a 3-game series. Thought about it, but he takes strike 2. TLU, though, was dead in the water, it felt like. Swept by St. Thomas, dropped the first 2 games in conference to the University of Dallas. Did he go? No. And it's 1-2. But all of a sudden, a 7-game winning streak to dig TLU out of that hole. Trinity, in their own right, comes in with a 9-game winning streak. Ball in the dirt, it's 2-2. So both of these teams very hot right now.
Let's see on the replay. Close. It's one of those judgment calls, of course. Even if it was in the MLB, non-reviewable.
Grounded up the middle. Baker spins, and the throw not in time. Another base hit for Green as the 9-hole man sets up the top of the order.
Both of these teams coming in hot. And TLU, you're right, they were struggling early on in conference play and in the season. Got swept pretty badly against UTD in non-conference play. And then, of course, not the ideal start to conference play either, but they've really started to pick it up.
Leadoff man Vasquez takes ball 1. 1 for 2, doubled the last time he was up. Hit hard to right, Woodward drifting back. He makes the catch, out number 1.
It's a good way to get the first out on the board. And as for Trinity, they've been looking really good all year. Pitching staff has come around very well. The bats had a huge showing against McMurray.
We've talked about that a lot, that 2-game stretch where they give up 30 runs against the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, dropping the first 2 games of that series. Pitch is fouled off. But since then, the ERA has been hovering a little under 3.5. As the Tigers have worked their way all the way back in the ERA category to 45th in the nation. A 4.18 total number on the year. Of course, last year they were 8th in the country. Big reason why they got as far as they did going all the way to a regional final against ETBU. Shyvana checks on green again, but to no avail. So these two teams both on pretty massive winning streaks. Strike two.
And you're right, Shyvana's really checking on green.
Does so again.
Usually your catcher's not really a base running threat.
Green has yet to attempt a stolen base this year.
Just trying to catch the big fella off guard, perhaps.
Swing and a miss, that's strike three. Second strikeout of the game for Joseph Shyvana, and there's 2 outs on the board.
And once again, it is Shyvana's bread and butter sometimes. He can draw the weak contact, but he can just as easily strike you out as well.
They check on green again. I have to wonder if this is more just for Shyvana's sake to settle in a little bit, or if they're actually trying to get him or worried about him running. Swing and a miss from Arias. That's strike one. Xavier Arias comes in hitting .330. Has a hit in 7 of his last 8 games. Take strike two.
Perhaps they just want to tire out green before he goes back out to catch the next inning.
Yeah, that's a lot of work diving back all those times. I know I wouldn't want to do it. He does run, and it's hit into left field. So Green on a hit and run heads to third base. Arias slides into second. He's safe, and a 2-out double on the hit and run.
Yeah, he takes off. Hit and run play drawn up. Just gets over Tinker into left field. And Green just gets to rumble all the way to third base. And once again, you're like, deja vu a little bit. Runners on second and third for the Bulldogs.
Another 2-out double. It's the second consecutive inning that's happened for TLU as Adam Peavy, the cleanup hitter, chance to extend the lead. As now the pitching coach Dave Smith will come out for a quick meeting. Runners on second and third do the Arias double. Shyvana's already gotten out of a situation like this. And the base is loaded before. No runs came across. In fact, the only 2 runs in this game unearned. So Shyvana's ERA still very much intact, what it was. 1.72 coming into this game.
Yeah, and his pitch count around the 70 marker right now. Still not halfway through the game yet. Tigers have had a little bit of movement in the bullpen since the first jam.
Ball high, and it's 2-0. Shyvana started game 1 of this series last year between these two teams out in Seguin. Didn't make it past the second inning. It was a weird circumstance. Had a ground ball that potentially could have gotten him out of the inning. Went off his foot, and things just unraveled from there. The Tigers losing that game and ultimately losing the series. Of course, going into that game, that was a TLU team that was struggling through conference play. That's what eventually got them going. The Bulldogs would enter the SCAC tournament as the #1 overall seed that year. Two-one pitch. Misses, and it's 3-1. So that pitch count continues to climb for Shyvana.
Yeah, it's a TLU team who are the reigning regular season SCAC champions from last year.
Hit sky high. Baker back in the outfield grass, and he makes the catch. Shyvana does it again. A magician, he gets out of the jam. It's still 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the fourth on Tiger Network. Bottom of the fourth, still 2-0 TLU here on Tiger Network. Brendan Beard back on the mound for his fourth inning of work as he'll face the third baseman Kai Tinker. Tinker flew out to second the last time he was up. He's 0 for 1. Take strike one.
Beard nearly at the 60 pitch marker for himself on the day. Tigers didn't work the count all that well in the last frame. Hoping to do a better job this one.
Tinker grounds that to third, throw in time, and a quick out number one for Beard.
And a lot of these ground balls, you're going to be hard-pressed to get them past the TLU fielders or have them make any errors at all because, like we've said before, best fielding team in the SCAC. They are all in their own rights Gold Glovers.
It's the left fielder, Ty Preston, hitting .313 on the year. He walked the last time he was up. Takes ball one. Of course, this is the part of the order that was able to load the bases. It was Preston followed by Harris and then Baker, all reaching. None of them by way of the hit. Preston worked a walk, Harris hit by a pitch, and Peterson hit by a pitch as well. Preston ahead 2-0. Now 3-0.
Yeah, and a lot of the traffic has been just self-inflicted by Beard. The Tigers either haven't seen Beard well or the balls that they have put in play have been covered by the Bulldogs.
3-0 pitch. Down the chute, strike one, red light situation.
You have to imagine what damage could have been done if the ball would have gotten over Godot's head out in left.
Fouled off, hot shot towards the Tiger dugout. Everybody seems to be okay.
Or if Drain wasn't able to make the play out and right. Tigers need to find a way to just play some good ball, maybe small ball perhaps, and get some runners across.
Full count. Fouled off again. Preston continues to work this at bat. Was 3-0, now 3-2. This will be the seventh pitch of the AB. Fouled off again, so we'll do it again. Harris waits on deck. Nobody on, one out. Fouled off again.
Really working the pitch count of Beard, fouling it again and again and again, being a thorn in the side of the pitcher. It's the most frustrating thing as a pitcher when a batter just refuses to go down.
In the dirt, ball 4. And Preston's hard work pays off.
Yeah, 2 walks in a row for him. And, haven't seen it just because the lack of sample size, but Ty Preston is one of the smartest batters in this entire Tiger roster. Whenever he goes up, he comes up, it looks like he has a plan every time.
Plan executed there. He finds himself on first base, and they check on him again. They did this a lot the last time he was there. We'll see how aggressive they decide to be with him. First game back from injury, so he should be full go. Harris takes ball 1. Harris hit by a pitch the last time he was up.
And I'm sure the Bulldogs, being wary of a potential hit and run situation, Tigers like to employ it in many different parts of their lineup.
Hit in the air towards the TLU bullpen and foul, no play. Of course, Brendan Beard presenting such a large challenge for this Trinity offense. Got to talk to Coach Kyle Palmer about what makes him so good. Said he just came in with a different mindset this year. This is Coach Palmer's first year with the program, so we got to talk to other people who were there last year just about the different intensity that he's come in to this season with. Said he was ready to go day 1 in the fall. Said he came in with a mindset of, I'm the guy. But Trinity making him work today. Thought about it, but takes ball 2. It's 2-1.
Yeah, and Beard certainly was the guy in that game against Schreiner. He pitched 10 innings. It's hard not to say that you're the guy in that situation.
And put the team on his back in that situation. Eventually walking off the Mountaineers. Strike called inside edge, 2-2. That 2-1 victory. Beard pitched 10 innings, only 1 earned run. Also 9 strikeouts and no free passes. He's already walked a few different Tigers today. Pitch misses, it's 3-2, another full count.
These are not the easiest pitches to lay off either. Tiger bats are just staying incredibly patient, maybe more patient than I've seen them be all year.
Yeah, this feels like a unique approach. Normally, they're pretty swing happy. Harris lofts that into shallow right. It falls, but it's foul. So we'll do it again.
And that Schreiner series, 2-1 victory game 1, blasted them in game 2, 11-1. Game 3, that was also another extra innings game that they had to walk off.
3 walk-off wins if you count the run rule. Some close plays, and that's what Coach Palmer talked about with this recent winning streak. He said there's no moment where it's like, okay, now we're cruising. He said it's just making a play here, a pitch here, making an at-bat a little better there. That's been the difference in these games. Harris grounds that fair. It's a tough play. Throw not in time as Harris beats it out.
Harris beats it out. But that was a really good pick from the third baseman. It took a weird bounce off the turf. So to be able to not have that come off the hand and roll into foul territory and potentially have Preston maybe think about third keeps the runners just advancing once.
Talk about all the Gold Glovers on the field. Aria's showing why he's a that caliber of defender. Just not in time as Harris waits on first. Now the 9-hole hitter, Jack Baker. Foul tip, strike one. Baker was in this situation the last time he was up. Flew out to right. Take strike two.
Sure, Baker really wants to put the first run on the plate for the Tigers.
Another inning where Trinity has traffic. Fouled back over our heads, and it'll remain 0-2. We'll fetch that baseball later. Of course, for those of you who don't know, who aren't regular time listeners, we're broadcasting from the roof of the Bell Center, overlooking the field. 0-2 pitch. In the dirt, and a good block by Green holds the runners.
And don't worry, Cole. Ball ever comes near us, I'll make a play, don't worry.
All right, I'm trusting you. That needs to happen because I will not make a play. That will not happen. No glove, no hope. Swing and a miss, that's strike three, second out of the inning, as Baker is retired.
A big strikeout there. 2 outs on the board. Once again for the Tigers. It's another opportunity where you have base runners. You just really need to get something going with 2 outs. 0 for 3 when there's 2 outs on the board right now.
That's the first strikeout of the day for Beard, as now he's in the third time through the lineup. Jack Peterson up to the plate. He's walked and been hit by a pitch. Check swing foul, 0-1. But Reed, one thing to keep in mind in a foul ball situation is I'm usually with Luke Terry, who's a former catcher, so I definitely trust him in that situation. So if you feel confident that you can step into that role and be the protector, then I'm good with that. Pitch misses, 1-1.
Hey, you've seen me out there when we did intramural softball. I'm capable. I'm capable.
Fouled off, 1-2. Tigers have had action, and all 4 innings they've been up to bat, still unable to drive in a run. Looking for a timely hit.
Right now, Beard almost surpassing the 80-pitch marker.
Grounded fair to first base, and that ends the inning. Tigers leave 2 more stranded as we head to the top of the 5th. 2-0 TLU leads here in San Antonio. Top of the 5th inning in San Antonio. Joseph Shyvana back out for his 5th inning of work. And as he faces Drain. Carson Drain hitting .250 on the year. 1 for 2 today. He struck out looking and also singled off of Shyvana. This is an important game in the SCAC. As of now, these two teams would face off against each other in the SCAC tournament, 1 versus 4. Of course, I mentioned it earlier. TLU, the reigning regular season SCAC champion. Trinity Tigers, the reigning SCAC champion. Grounded sharply to second. Harris makes the play for out number 1.
And we've mentioned, Cole, a lot of contention to get into the conference tournament. Unlike softball and baseball, only the top 4 make it. So much harsher cutoff point. Right now, Schreiner leading Southwestern and Georgetown 5-3 in the bottom of the 5th.
That's a big result. Schreiner, not necessarily a team that we expect to make the tournament. So important for Southwestern, a team that as of now would be in to get results against a team like that. Post cuts through that one, and it's 1-1. Of course, TLU coming off of a sweep against Schreiner, where they walked off Schreiner 3 times in 2 different fashions. One of them counts as a walk-off. And the Tigers dropping a game to Schreiner, 4-0. The middle game of that series, blowing them out the other 2 times.
The game was Jackson Tier's only loss on the year so far.
Fouled off, makes it 2-2. Game where Tier was coming back from an injury, only pitched 4 innings, but allowed a run in the first, and that was enough. Got no run support, a 4-0 loss as it turned out. In the dirt, 3-2.
That's another full count for Post.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Ball gets away from Lazera, but the throw in time to finish the job.
Great work by Shyvana. You always appreciate a strikeout of Post wherever you can get it. It's a big out for him. Perhaps a big confidence booster for Shyvana, who, in every inning pretty much has had traffic on the base paths.
2 outs on the board, nobody on for Bourgeois. Takes strike 1. Both of these teams very good at striking out their opponents normally, but not today. Only 1 for Beard, only 3 for Shyvana. Just misses 1-1. Tigers 7th in the nation in Ks per 9 with 10.6. TLU much lower than that, 7.3, but not on pace for even that right now. Grounded to third. Tinker makes a throw in time, and the first 1-2-3 inning of this game for Joseph Shyvana does not allow a hit as we head to the bottom of the 5th. We're halfway through this one in San Antonio on Tiger Network. Bottom of the 5th inning here in the Alamo City on the campus of Trinity University. Caleb Woodward set to lead off this inning against Brendan Beard, who's set for his 5th inning of work, working with a 2-0 lead. Caleb Woodward 0 for 2 today. He's flown out both times he's been up. First time he's leading off an inning. But this game and this series so important for TLU. It's so congested for who's going to get that 4th spot. They need every game they can, especially with the schedule they have coming up.
Certainly. They play Trinity right now, who's at the top of the conference with the 10-2 conference record. They also got to play Centenary, who's second with 9-2. And then Southwestern.
Grounded sharply to short. The throw in time for out number 1.
Southwestern trails behind TLU. They're in 4th, and TLU is actually in 3rd right now with 7-5, and Southwestern 6-6. And then St. Thomas, team that swept them to start off conference play, they're at 6-6 as well right now, trailing Centenary 3-1. Another big series, as there's at least one team in that bunch that's not going to make it.
It's Nick Lazara up to the plate. Takes ball 1. Lazara 1 for 2. He flew out the last time he was up, but singled the time before that. That 3rd and that 4th spot so up in the air right now. Right now it's the 2 teams that made it, or the 4 teams that made it last year in the top 4. But somebody who's just on the outside looking in, St. Thomas, Dallas, we'll see, trying to creep their way in there. Grounded to first as Post makes the trip himself for out number 2.
And it's certainly not an easy remaining schedule for the Bulldogs, having to play the 3 top teams in the conference, all of whom in contention to make the conference tournament, maybe more likely than not to make the conference tournament. Really want to win these matchups because you could see these teams again if you do make the tournament.
Christian Holloway up to bat. Got to talk to Coach Kyle Palmer about what he thinks about his upcoming schedule. I think he gave the answer that we all expected. It's not something that he thinks about too much. He said only when guys like you bring it up, but not something that the program looks at too heavily. Said they take it on a game-by-game basis, trying to come out here on Friday and play a good game and win that one.
It's always cool for Palmer being an alum of TLU.
Grounded to 3rd, and that ends the inning. A 1-2-3 inning worked by Beard. We'll head to the 6th in San Antonio. Top of the 6th, and a cloudy South Texas, still 2-0 TLU over Trinity. As Bourgeois set to lead off this inning for the Bulldogs. Looking to make it 8 in a row. They're on pace to do so, up 2-0. takes ball 1. But I think the primary thing to look at in the line score that we put up before this, left on base, the LOB column, 8 for TLU, 7 for Trinity. It's making a big difference.
It really is. Right now, the Bulldogs have been having timely hits. They're 4 for 9 with 2 outs on the board. Tigers are 0 for 5. Only 1 hit for the Bulldogs when there's not 2 outs on the board.
Godot tries the drag bunt but misses it. Strike 2.
It's just been troubles for both sides. It's a close game.
Outside, 2-2. Well, I think it's exactly what Coach Palmer said. A pitch here, a hit there. Makes all the difference. So far, neither of these teams getting that play. Grounded to Baker. He makes the throw for out number 1.
Jack Baker is all reliable there at that shortstop position. Been some tough throws today, and more often than not, he can make them. It's always nice to have someone so skillful at that position there that you know, more often than not, will make the throw in time to get the out.
So now the catcher Chance Green up. He's 2 for 2. Take strike 1. Shyvana's pitch count getting up there above 90 pitches at this point. Hit foul. So 0-2. But as Tiger fans know, the pitch count really not something that matters all that much with how long Shyvana will stay in a game. He's surpassed the 120 mark at points. And it's hard to imagine that tonight would be any different if they feel he's still throwing the ball well. Swing and a miss, strike 3, 4th strikeout of the night for Joseph Shyvana, and there's 2 down in the inning.
A great work against a batter who had gotten the better of Shyvana the previous 2 times at the plate. Maybe an unexpected bat to get on base 2 times for the Bulldogs. But still, Chance Green having a great night. Shyvana just getting the better of them this time around.
Important strikeout. It brings up the top of the order with nobody on. It's Eric Vasquez up for the 4th time today. He's 1 for 3. He's doubled. Flew out the last time he was up. Getting over 300 on the year. And now ahead 2-0.
Once again, 2 outs on the board. It's when the Bulldogs tend to get hot.
Inside. Nearly got him, but it's 3-0. Of course, we've mentioned the walks being an issue for Shyvana. 32 total coming in to this game. Only 6 appearances. There's strike 1.
And you mentioned the interesting stat line of his great ERA and a whip that perhaps doesn't match it.
Up the middle, a base knock. As Vasquez is aboard with 2 down in the inning. 2-out magic once again for TLU.
A great ball up the middle. Not much you can do about it if you're Trinity. Once again, more traffic on the base paths for Shyvana. It's a TLU team that does like to steal from time to time.
Hayden Kessle Ring up. 0 for 1, struck out the last time he was up. Takes ball 1. You mentioned the stolen base numbers. 56 total on the year, or 57 total coming into this game for TLU. 68th in the country, 2nd in the conference. Trinity not far behind, 55 stolen bases on the season coming in. Shyvana and Lazara meet at the pitcher's mound for a quick meeting. We've seen this already a few times in this game.
We'll see if this is just a conversation between pitcher and catcher, or if Lazara is buying the Tiger relievers enough time to get a bit warmer.
There is action in the bullpen. From our vantage point here, it looks like Jonathan Newman warming up. As now Dave Smith will come onto the field. He makes the point, and that will end Shyvana's day. He goes through 5.2, exits this one with a runner on first and a 2-0 game. Welcome back to San Antonio, Texas. Jonathan Newman enters the game, and you see the numbers on your screen. A 4-0 record, a .36 ERA his last time out. Only .1 innings pitched. Got the one out he needed against McMurray as he fires strike one.
Yeah, Newman coming into this one with maybe an absurd ERA.
Hit in the air to right. Woodward makes the catch, and that ends the inning. All it takes is 2 pitches for Jonathan Newman to lower that ERA just a little bit more as we head to the bottom of the 6th in San Antonio. Still 2-0 TLU. Bottom of the 6th, Tigers looking for some offense. They'll hope to get it with their designated hitter, Alex Monson. Monson's third time to the plate. Grounded into a fielder's choice. And flew out to left. And he takes strike 1.
Now Beard, over 90 pitches on the day so far. So Shyvana get knocked out by the Bulldogs.
Shyvana ends his day, 5.2 innings pitched, 4 strikeouts. Only the 2 runs on the board, neither of them earned. Beard trying to close his outing on a strong note. Threw over 120 pitches last week. We'll see if he reaches numbers like that again. 1-2, fouled off, we'll do it again.
I think Beard's going to be very hard pressed to go a complete game unless the Tigers just have an ending like they did last time where they just hit ground balls early on in the count.
3 consecutive groundouts the last time the Tigers were up to bat. A 1-2-3 inning for Beard. Rifled but foul. It's Monson continuing to stay alive. Both of these teams trying to continue extended winning streaks. One of them will come to an end. 7 in a row for the Bulldogs, 9 in a row for the Tigers. Fouled into the Trinity bullpen.
And this is a lot of staying alive by Monson. Some of these pitches not necessarily threatening the strike zone, but Monson still putting them foul anyways.
Outside, 2-2, good take.
Yeah, attacking that outside lower corner. It was a good pitch by Beard. A good eye by Monson.
Hit in the air, sky high. And the catch made by the shortstop Bourgeois, ranging into the outfield grass. Out number 1.
Yeah, great communication by the Bulldogs with Arias, Bourgeois, and Godot all coming in to potentially make that play. Bourgeois calling both of them off, making the catch himself. Don't have that communication there. You could have a collision and a Tiger base runner.
Third baseman Kai Tinker up. He's 0 for 2 today. Takes strike 1. Trinity trying to get something, anything going. Only 2 hits on the game. They've had traffic due to the amount of times Beard has walked somebody, but not a lot of contact with the baseball so far.
And 3 walks in a day for Beard. Quite the oddity. It's not a pitcher that issues many walks to begin with.
Pitch outside makes it 2-1. Also the 2 hit by pitch. So 5 total base runners outside of the 2 hits the Tigers have. Tapped fair. Mishandled for a second, and Tinker reaches. So an unusual way to get the third base hit, but there it is.
Yeah, Tinker makes contact, maybe not necessarily expecting that ball to stay fair. Thought he fouled it off. And then Green trying to get it. When he tried to go to pick up the ball, he actually knocks it behind himself just a little bit on the misgrab. That'll be a rare TLU error on the catcher.
So it does not go down as a hit and eat 2. And that'll hurt the numbers a little bit. The best fielding team in the SCAC. So an error, not something you see too often. Now the left fielder, Ty Preston, takes ball 1. Preston, 2 plate appearances, 2 walks. Runner goes, but fouled off out of play, makes it 1-1. Tinker will have to go back.
Yeah, the Tigers were attempting a hit and run, it looks like. Otherwise, I don't think Preston swings at that.
If I'm not mistaken, Reed, I don't think that they've tried to steal just without doing a hit and run. We'll see if that changes. 1-1 pitch outside.
This late into the game, and the pitch count what it is for Beard. Have to wonder how long they'll be willing to leave him out on the mound if more Tigers start getting on base.
Tough to see if there's any action in the TLU bullpen from where we are. You get the feeling the thought might be crossing Kyle Palmer's mind. His starter close to that 100 pitch mark. As they check on Tinker, ball gets away, but not far enough for him to move.
Yeah, Bulldogs must have tried at least a baker's dozen worth of pickoff attempts as well to add on to that pitch count from Beard.
And none of them with Jack Baker on the base. We'll try it again. Preston steps into the box, ready to go. 2-1 pitch. Floated into the air and caught. Arias makes the play towards the outfield grass. And another great defensive play by TLU.
Yeah, way to flash the leather. The hot corner, but you also have to make bloop plays like that. Great job tracking it, making the catch. And that is a big out to get for TLU. You let that fall. You have a runner in scoring position for the Tigers, but now Tinker is still stuck at first.
Runner on first, 2 outs on the board for Colt Harris. Takes ball 1. Thought about throwing back to first, but does not. Strike 1.
Harris was the last Tiger that got a hit. Way back in the bottom of the 4th. Looking for another from the senior.
Sun beginning to set here in San Antonio. 1-1 pitch. Check swing, strike called.
Beard wants to get through this inning. He's been excellent so far.
So far in line for the win. Close pitch, does not get the call. Evens the count at 2-2.
Yeah, very close pitch to be sure. See it on this replay.
Oh.
Yeah, perhaps caught the zone a little bit. Tigers maybe getting a second chance.
It's the home plate umpire saying that was just outside.
But it's a part of baseball. Take second chances where you can get them. Harris will try not to waste the second opportunity.
Here it comes. Popped up. Catch made. And that's the inning. We'll head to the top of the 7th in San Antonio. Still 2-0 TLU. They'll try to add on to their lead when we come back. Xavier Arias set to lead off this inning. 1 for 2 today, still hitting .333 on the year with 4 home runs, OPS well over 900. It's Jonathan Newman back out there, collected the final out of the last half inning. Tinker ranging in and makes the throw for out number 1. What a play at third base by Kai Tinker.
Hot corner, responding in kind. Of course, Arias had the great play at third base in the top of the frame. Or in the bottom of the last frame, rather.
Pitch from Newman inside. Adam Peavy, cleanup hitter, 0 for 3 today. He's flown out the last 2 times he's been up. Take strike 1. It's a different Friday night pitching strategy than we normally see from Trinity. Pitch just outside, 2-1. Normally it's Will Hellings following Joseph Shyvana, but the Tigers trailing. Hellings usually acting as the closer, so taking a seat for this one. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
We mentioned Newman's ridiculous ERA. That's perhaps a little better than .36, and it's not like he hasn't worked innings. He's pitched 24.
There's strike 3. Newman gets him looking, 2 outs on the board.
And another inning, third of an inning to the total. He has been ridiculously good this season.
Coach Smith talking about the resurgence of Jonathan Newman, saying it's almost like a Cade McGahan situation for people who followed the team last year. Cade McGahan, an all-conference starting pitcher who didn't really make that much of an impact statistically his first 3 years. His senior year, he just figured something out, made it happen, and that's kind of what's happening with Jonathan Newman right now. Pitch on the inside edge, 0-2. Said the biggest adjustment was using his slider as a pitch to get ahead as opposed to a strikeout pitch. Just misses 1-2.
And this is what the Tigers need. They need their ace reliever to come out and keep the Bulldogs down.
In the dirt, 2-2. Against Carson Drain, 1 for 3 today. Has singled and struck out looking. Outside edge is not given the call. It's been a tight zone all night, and he's remaining consistent. Full count. Outside, ball 4. And he loses them.
Another free pass given by the Tiger pitching staff tonight. And once again, 2 outs on the board quickly, and then that third out maybe being a bit harder to get. Bulldogs have just been really pesky with 2 outs on the board.
And not the guy you want to see come up with a runner on first, Tyler Post. Post 0 for 2, struck out the last time he was up. He's also walked in this game. Extending his nation-leading total to 28 walks on the year. Pitch inside, and he's on pace to do it again. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
Great pitch by Newman as the wind really starting to blow in now.
Yeah, not much of a factor earlier today, but of course, once we're on the air, it shows up. Loves to make an appearance. I don't know if we've had a broadcast yet up here where the wind has just not been. I don't know. If we could just, like, if we could reserve a time where it just wouldn't do what it does, that would be nice, but that's just not how it works. Newman in a 1-1 count. Misses, it's 2-1.
Yeah, the best laid plans go awry. But depending on which way the wind blows at any given time, Post might appreciate it if it's a good opposite field hit.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. And we've seen some balls carry in this ballpark. Talked to Coach Dave Smith, who was a pitcher here back when he played. Said he can't count the number of home runs he gave up on fly balls.
You can see how much these Tigers respect Tyler Post. You look at the outfield, how deep Ty Preston is playing, how deep Peterson is playing, how deep Woodward is playing. They're ready for a hard hit ball into the outfield should it come.
Ty Preston with his heels almost on the warning track. Pitch misses, it's 3-2. Woodward and Peterson not quite as deep, but still deeper than their normal position. 3-2 pitch. In for strike 3. That ends the inning. Post goes looking as Jonathan Newman pitches another scoreless frame. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th. Tigers need some offense when we come back. Welcome to the jungle, the 9-hole hitter. Out for Trinity, it's Jack Baker, and still on the mound for the Bulldogs, it's Beard. Ready for his 7th inning of work. Pitch count currently at 112. So these two teams in the same conference, and apparently similar preferences to how they manage their starting pitchers. Let them go.
And why not? There's a reason that there are no runs on the board for the Tigers, and it's because of the great work that Beard has been doing. Even when runners do get on, he's been able to get out of jams.
Baker rips one down the left field line, but hooking and foul. Tiger bullpen appealing that the ball was fair, but looked foul from our vantage point. We'll see if we can find it on the replay.
Yeah, it's always interesting because that foul pole is a little bit further away from the fence. It's not attached to it. Maybe hard to see because of the size of the baseball, but it did look like it was ranging foul more likely than not.
We had one situation similar a few games ago.
Of course, that St. Thomas game, closer inspection after the game, looks like the ball hit off the back of the foul post. Something that maybe could only happen at this field.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. And one out on the board. Beard into his 7th inning, looking good as ever.
And Jack Baker's probably going to want that one back, straighten out that great hit, because he crushed the ball out in the foul territory ultimately, but anywhere to the right, it would have been way gone.
Leadoff man Jack Peterson back out for his 4th plate appearance. Takes ball 1. He's 0 for 1 today, grounded out to first the last time he was up. He's also reached twice, hit by pitch and a walk. Still only 2 hits on the day for Trinity. Swing and a miss, strike one. Good take, 2-1.
And right now, Beard's just looking like he could pitch forever. Like, this deep into the game, he still looks very good with his command.
Hit in the air to center. Kessle Ring lets it fall. Misjudged the ball. Peterson heads to second. And a one-out double for Jack Peterson.
An interesting play there. Peterson gives it a ride into that area, kind of into shallow right center. And I think that Kessinger just lost the ball. He didn't know where it was, and the Tiger dugout correctly guessing that he didn't know where it was, allowing Peterson to go to second, where maybe if he was sold on the act that Kessinger was putting out in center field, he could have stopped that first.
And it looks like that might be the day. So far, just a full infield conversation. We'll see if a change is actually made, though I think that's the direction they're going in.
That pitch count at the 120 mark. It's been quite a heavy load for Beard today. Of course, Beard has shown he can go with high pitch counts. The question is with one out on the board and a runner in scoring position for the Tigers, looks like they are going to entrust the duty for him to stay in and get out of this inning.
Brendan Beard will remain in the game. In the 7th inning, nearly 120 pitches thrown. This is his ball game. So he'll face Caleb Woodward, somebody who's had a lot of success against so far, 0 for 3 today. And you see it there on your screen, exactly 120 pitches thrown for Beard so far. Strike one.
And Woodward has been conspicuously quiet today at the plate with that 0 for 3 stat line so far. Could come in a big way if he could get his first hit here.
First year trying to do exactly that. Working with a runner in scoring position. Close pitch, it misses, 1-1. The wind looks like it's shifting out towards center field. Those flags blowing out to left center right now. We'll see if that works in Woodward's favor at all. One out, runner on second, and a 1-1 count. Fouls it off, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, 1-2 count. There's a reaction from the Tiger dugout, and the field umpire pointing towards the direction of Beard. So I wonder if they called the ball on a pitch clock violation on Beard. Either way, it doesn't change the count at all, but...
Swing and a miss, strike three. 2 down in the inning, and a big strikeout for Beard.
Yeah, comes after him yet again. And Woodward, 0 for 4 today. A night that he'll probably want to forget afterwards. Because Beard has just been dicing and slicing through this Tiger lineup. He just seems unstoppable right now.
Nick Lazara up to bat. Ball gets through. Peterson will head to third as he advances 90 feet. Not a sacrifice fly situation, but that much closer to putting the first run on the board for Trinity.
Yeah, pitch getting away from Green. Just looked like it slipped out of his glove when he went to catch it. So, yep, free base for Peterson. Fortunately for the Tigers, can't sack fly him in. You know how bad that they want to, because we know that this Tiger team has the muscle to put a ball into the outfield for a sacrifice fly, and Peterson definitely has the speed to tag up.
Lazara 1 for 3 today. Base hit in his first time up. Has not reached since as he takes ball 2.
The Bulldogs lead the SCAC in shutouts. Had 3 shutout performances this year.
Strike called, 2-1. Fouled off, evens the count at 2-2. That took a high hop off the backstop.
Yeah, the brick backstop sometimes gives friendly bounces, sometimes unfriendly bounces. Thankfully for the Bulldogs, it was fouled off and it didn't get away.
2-2 pitch. High ball 3. A full count with 2 down in the inning. Lazara potentially the tying run in the 7th. Fouled off, will do it again.
A great fight by Lazara, just really trying to channel his inner Brian Schaub right now. It's the Tigers' favorite count.
Hit to center, and the diving catch made. Kessle Ring takes it away, and the inning is over. Beard is through 7. What a play in center.
Just look how much ground Kessle Ring has to cover, first of all. And then the diving play. Every outfielder for the Bulldogs tonight has made a web gem type play. They're the best fielding team in the SCAC for a reason. And you could just see Brendan Beard was fired up, getting help from his outfielders. I mean, how could you not be excited if you're Brendan Beard?
That close to the first run of the day for Trinity, but not so fast. Kessle Ring takes it away, still 2-0 as we head to the 8th on Tiger Network. Top of the 8th, Chase Bourgeois set to lead things off for TLU. He's 0 for 2 today. He's also walked. As he faces Jonathan Newman, who works another inning of relief. That's fouled back to make it 0-1. But Reed, I feel like we have to go back to that play in center field that ended the last half inning. Hayden Kessle Ring robbing Nick Lazara of an RBI double. Making up for his mistake. Remember, him misreading the ball in the air is what allowed Peterson to be there in the first place. He more than makes up for it when Lazara's up to bat.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's keeping the score at 0 for the Tigers, keeping the shutout going. And I'd be hard-pressed to say that Beard would come out another inning, but the way he's pitching, who knows?
Who's to say anymore as that pitch lands for strike 1, or 2, I should say. There's strike 3. Bourgeois goes looking. Another strikeout for Jonathan Newman, first out of the inning.
Yeah, Jonathan Newman working very, very well. 3 strikeouts in his day already. He's just been working fantastically around these Bulldog bats. And TLU's just having a hard time seeing him right now.
Skidoo up. Sort of pushed that one. Unusual swing. It goes for strike 1. See Jonathan Newman's numbers once again. The ERA down to .34. Hit in the air to shallow center as Harris ranges back into the outfield grass to make the catch.
When your ERA is that low, it doesn't drop that much for every out you get at a certain point, because that's how effective Newman has been. It's almost like putting in a combination on a lock at points with how low it can drop sometimes.
The catcher Green takes strike 1. But Newman, I would assume, getting close to being eligible to be the nation leader in earned run average. Grounded softly and fair. Newman fires quickly and it misses. That'll be an error on Jonathan Newman. It allows Green to sprint to second base.
Yeah, Newman, I think, he was quick off the mound to go and try and make the play. Just a bit too rushed with the throw, however. If it was on line, may have been in time, but good to come off the mound. Unfortunately, that error on the Tigers just needed a bit more accuracy on the throw.
They do not give Green a hit. Charge the error to Jonathan Newman on the throw. Third error of the day committed by Trinity, and it brings up Eric Vasquez. Popped up foul above our heads. That was worrisome for a second. That got lost in the clouds. I didn't know if that was coming straight down or if that was going to carry. I assumed it was going over our heads, but you never know. You lose sight of it, and then that's, well, we'll see. Grounded, past the dive of Baker. Green comes around to score. It's 3-0 Texas Lutheran.
And another run for the Bulldogs. It had been quite a while. Great piece of hitting by Vasquez. Just getting it right past the glove of Baker, who was giving it his all to try and make the play. Run comes in, unfortunately, for Trinity.
3-hit day for Eric Vasquez. 2 doubles and a single as it sets up Hayden Kessle Ring, the hero out of center field. And the throw gets away into center field. Vasquez slides safely to third, the 4th error of the day for Trinity.
Yeah, just another errant throw from Newman. It's not what you want to see. And unfortunately, it just puts the runner at third.
Dave Smith coming out. And it looks like we'll have a pitching change in San Antonio. Newman will leave this game with a runner at third in a 3-0 situation. Or will he?
Yeah, right now it looks just like a conversation, wanting to calm Newman down a little bit.
There is action in the Tiger bullpen. I thought I saw somebody making their way towards the door, but it doesn't look to be the case anymore. So this will be Newman's inning until further notice.
You know, the funny thing about that run that just came in is that it comes in unearned.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. Does not hurt the ERA.
And it's one of those funny things in baseball where if the pitcher makes the error, it's still an unearned run, even though it is on Newman.
So Kessle Ring will head to first base, and that puts runners at the corners for TLU.
And command for Newman just slipping a little bit. See if he can refocus himself as this TLU lineup does not get any easier.
Xavier Arias comes up to the plate. The number 3 hitter, 1 for 3 today. He's walked and doubled. There's strike 1. I guess the benefit of Kessle Ring reaching is the double play is now a possibility. Pitch away, 1-1.
For Arias, 4th in the conference in RBI. So certainly another bat you want at the plate if you're TLU in the runner in scoring position situation.
Pitch just misses. Now 2-1. 2 outs on the board, so all Newman needs. Just 1. In the dirt, 3-1.
Trying to get Arias to chase. Not biting. It's his count now.
Check on the runner, back safely. That's pretty dangerous with the runner on third. Already seen one of those get away today. In the dirt, ball 4. Squirts away for a second, but Lazera able to recover in time to hold the runner. Bases are loaded with 2 down.
Yeah, this is certainly a jam for Jonathan Newman. 2 outs, once again. It's a 2-out rally for the Bulldogs right now. 6 for 14 with 2 outs on the board. And they've done pretty much all their damage with 2 outs on the board.
Now Adam Peavy up. Now Reed, I took an AP statistics class where we were taught that there's no such thing as being due. But if somebody were to be due tonight, I think it would be Adam Peavy, the cleanup hitter, 0 for 4 today. Struck out the last time he was up. Now a bases loaded opportunity to, in theory, put this out of reach. Up the middle, base knock, 1 run comes in to score. Here comes another. And it's 5-0 TLU. Runner caught in the middle. And the tag applied to end the inning, but not before TLU adds 3 runs to its total. It's 5-0 Bulldogs. Bottom of the 8th coming up on Tiger Network. Bottom of the 8th, Texas Lutheran now up 5-0 over Trinity. And Brendan Beard back on the mound for the Bulldogs. Shades of Pedro Martinez. He stays on the hill. First pitch to Holloway misses for ball one. Reed, it's 5-0. He's thrown over 130 pitches. What do you make of this decision?
Well, right now, there's a 0 on the board. I have to imagine he's in like a runner-on situation where if the Tigers get anybody on, it'll probably be the end of his day. But if he's shutting out the Tigers, why not keep him in at this point? And he's still looking very effective on the mound.
Holloway rips it to left. Goes back to the wall. He's digging in for two. Throw offline as he's in for a double. Maybe what the Tigers needed.
Yeah, great hit by Christian Holloway. Sorely needed for the Tigers. They really needed anything to get going. But it looks like Beard is still on the mound. There is no visit from either catcher or coach. So it is Beard's game right now.
Alex Monson working with a runner on second, trying to put the first run on the board for the Tigers. Yeah, you said he was in a runner-on situation. I was thinking, isn't that what you said last time? So here we are. Beard still going. Monson rips it to right. And the catch made. Holloway tagging from second. He heads to third. So one out on the board. Sacrifice fly possibility still alive.
Sac fly opportunity for Trinity. Something that has seldom been the case. Very seldom been the case. I think maybe at this point Tigers are trying to prevent the shutout. Down by 5. It's a lot of work to do. It's a very limited amount of outs.
Third baseman Kai Tinker up to the plate. Ball dropped, but the pitch landed for a strike. Tinker 0 for 3 today. So that ball that he tapped fair and reached on was marked as an error as opposed to a base hit. Pitch way inside, gets away for a second, but not enough to bring in Holloway.
Yeah, keeps the runner at third. Once again, Green has been very good at the catcher's position. Gotten some good blocks. Balls that get away usually aren't away from him for long.
Lined and caught. Throw back to third. In time, they got him. A double play, and Beard is fired up as he heads back to the dugout.
I mean, what else is there to say about Beard? He can pitch. He gets the great fielding play right there. Right back to him. Return to sender. And then to throw it, a perfect strike, back to third base to double up the Tigers. That may be the craziest play by a pitcher that I've seen on this field since Jackson Tier came off the mound to dive and make a catch for an out.
I don't know what else to say about that. What a play by Brendan Beard. That sends us to the top of the ninth. TLU with a 5-0 lead. Wow. Top of the ninth, Texas Lutheran leads Trinity 5-0 here in San Antonio. Jonathan Newman back on the mound. Fires strike one. Newman coming off a pretty rough inning, really the first one of his season. Allowed 3 runs in that frame as he faces Carson Drain.
Right now, it just feels like the Bulldogs have this energy around them.
Lined down the third base line, but foul.
Close play on the line. But it's just been a bunch of positive momentum for the Bulldogs. And whenever the Tigers have threatened in any capacity, it just goes awry. Bulldogs get out of it. And, you know, it's hard not to point at Brendan Beard, but you also have to look at all the fielding work that the Bulldogs have done. And, of course, they had to get the runs across somehow. It's just been a complete night for the Bulldogs.
Outside edge, pitch misses, 2-2. Of course, TLU coming into this game with a 9-game winning streak. If they're on pace to make it 10 in a row. So that's what we're talking about. Pitch fouled back, keeps it 3-2. Or it's just the ball falls your way here, falls your way there. They want to approach each game the same way. Sometimes the ball doesn't fall your way. That's what we're seeing with Trinity so far. Popped up, but out of play. Coach Palmer telling me he felt during the losing streak his guys were giving it his all. It's just play here, play there. The ball wasn't falling their way. Well, tonight it is, and I wonder how much of that is just the momentum they're carrying in from this 9-game winning streak. Things just going their way right now. Check swing, and it got him. At least that's the signal the umpire gave. Not headed to first base right now, and
I think it went off the bat.
that's ball 4, so heads to first base regardless. Leadoff walk issued by Jonathan Newman.
And through all the chaos that happened the last inning, Jonathan Newman had no earned runs applied to him through all
Zero.
of that. Zero.
0, wow.
That's what it says on our live stats website. No earned runs, but I think that's the end of his day.
And it will be the end of his day. Jonathan Newman heads back to the dugout. No earned runs unless Drain from first can come around to score. New pitcher when we come back in San Antonio, 5-0 Texas Lutheran. New arm for the Trinity Tigers. It's Shepard Tyler, comes in with an ERA of 4.15. 8 2/3 innings pitched. Whip over 2. An opportunity to get that down against one of the best hitters in the country, Tyler Post, swinging a miss, strike 1.
And right now, Shepard Tyler maybe on cleanup duty for the Tigers, as just projecting how things are going right now. Be very impressive. They did come back to win this one, given all that's happened on pretty much every facet of the game so far. You know, it's hard to go against a guy who's thrown so well.
Thought about it, but didn't go. 2-1. We have seen Trinity come back for more than this. Of course, the 9-run comeback against the Babson Beavers, scored 10 runs in the bottom of the 8th, capped off by a Christian Holloway grand slam. Tigers wound up winning that game 16-15.
Just Brandon Beard at 139 pitches on the night so far. It's quite incredible. Rarely see that.
2-1 pitch. Fouled off, evens it at 2-2.
I think the highest amount of pitches may have also been a similar caliber. Saw it from Centenary's very own Parker Primo last year. Of course, he's with Creighton now, playing D1 ball.
Fouled off, and we'll do it again at 2-2.
And Centenary has that no sore arms mentality last year. Maybe a similar philosophy for Beard right now.
As we'll wait to see if he comes back for the bottom of the 9th to throw his 2nd consecutive complete game. Check on the runner at first, to no avail. Fouled off. We'll do it again at 2-2. You know, Reed, this is something that I was thinking about, not related to baseball whatsoever. Just sort of a disclaimer on that. It's currently 8:33. And we just heard the Trinity Tower chime. I think the tower's off.
I think it is too. Tower's been a little bit off ever since my freshman year. Got to go to the top of it freshman year, as that's what freshman classes should do. You should also go up to the top at the end of your senior year, but it's an under repairs.
Pitch misses. That's ball 4. Tyler Post gets his 2nd walk of the game.
It's been under repair seemingly indefinitely. I haven't heard anybody going up in it in the past 2 years. I may have been the last person to go up to the top of Trinity Tower.
Were you the last person in your class to do it?
I wasn't the last person in my class, but I think not everyone in my year did get to go up to the top.
Squares up to bunt, but fouled off.
No, Trinity Tower used to be the tallest thing in San Antonio at some point. Of course, now look behind us and see the Tower of Americas clearly eclipsing that mark.
A 1 pitch. Way inside. Throw back to 2nd, not in time, though they looked like they had a chance.
And unfortunately for the Tigers, nothing looms quite as large as the momentum that the Bulldogs have currently. You know, they've been hot. And, you know, it's just baseball sometimes. Baseball, it's a beautiful game.
Strike called. Throw back to 1st, not in time to get Post.
Don't mean to quote the cliche line, but how could you not be romantic about baseball at certain points? Watching Beard throw a masterpiece. It's quite something to watch.
Swing and a miss. That's strike 3. Foul tip into the catcher's glove. Out number 1 for Shepard Tyler.
Yeah. Now Shepard Tyler in a slightly easier situation with the out on the board could potentially put a double play ball for the very capable Tiger infield to collect. It's just right now really wanting to stop the bleeding.
Squares up to bunt, but pulls it back. See Mason Godot's numbers on the night. He's 0 for 4 today. TOU opening up a 5-0 lead. Game 1 of a 3-game set between these two conference rivals. Fouled off, out of play, 0-2. Shepard Tyler trying to take us to the bottom of the 9th at 5-0. Trying to give his offense as much of a chance as he can. And we'll see if it will be Brendan Beard or not. Pitch misses, 1-1. But it's interesting to think about the Trinity Tower tradition. Of course, freshmen going up to the top of it, taking, I believe, a picture with the president of the university. Even when they go up there, they're all sweaty. I think that's part of the joke. Senior year, you do the same thing, and it's like to show how much you've grown. Grounded to second, could be 2. Baker does not make the throw to first. They get 1, though. Godot is safe with a fielder's choice. But it allows me to continue this thought on the Trinity Tower tradition, because my class has not gotten to do that yet. I have yet to go to the top of Trinity Tower, and I'm wondering if that's a good thing or not, because I personally do not like stairs. I feel like most people can agree with me when I say that stairs usually are a negative. But at the same time, it's interesting to participate in a tradition like that, and as you come to the end of the year, lots of Tiger seniors. Interesting to reflect on the traditions and the history of this campus and to be a part of that.
Yeah, and when I was a freshman, of course, coming in, still COVID times, wasn't the president at the top, it was a cardboard cutout of the president. So
really?
Got to shake the hand of a cardboard cutout.
That's creative. Danny Anderson, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, Danny Anderson. How about that? Strike called, 1-1.
Thought his handshake was a bit flimsy.
I can imagine. You need better cardboard. They sold out for the cheap stuff.
I have to wonder if the tradition will come back eventually. It's been under repairs for quite a while now.
I don't even know what they're doing.
It's a good question.
I mean, it looks the same. Strike called, inside edge, makes it 1-2.
But they do have a special bell for whenever Vespers goes on. It's the Trinity Choir's longest standing tradition, the longest Trinity University tradition, dating back to the early 1900s, late 1800s.
Runner goes, and no throw, a stolen base for Godot.
Well, the Bulldogs like to steal quite a bit. It's no surprise there. It's an especially easy steal because probably not going to throw to second. Runner from third might have come home.
Hit in the air, down the right field line. And the play not made. Hit too far in foul territory, so we'll do it again at 2-2.
And it looked like Holloway had a play on it just a bit too far out of reach of his glove. Kind of collides with that fencing for the bullpen. It's good to see he's okay.
Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that ends the inning. A scoreless frame put up by Shepard Tyler. We head to the bottom of the 9th. Trinity down to their last 3 outs, down by 5. Bottom of the 9th in San Antonio. TLU leads Trinity 5-0, and it is Brendan Beard. 139 pitches into his outing. It'll keep going into the 9th as he faces the leadoff man, Ty Preston. Tigers down to their last 3 outs. Beard going for his 2nd consecutive complete game. First pitch high, ball 1. Reed, can you imagine that stat line? 19 innings pitched in 2 games.
It's crazy. It's unbelievable, almost. It's one of those things you read and you're like, no way, that's a mistake.
It's like the math doesn't work. There's only 9 innings in a game. It's like, oh, he went into an extra one too. Whoa. But it does allow me to tell something that I was not supposed to tell. Pitch away, misses 2-1. So Coach Palmer telling me about like the evaluation process of how they let Beard go deep into a game. They look at velocity to see if it trails off at all. They look at the stress of the inning, and then they talk to Beard himself. He said that last part more or less useless just because he knows Beard, even 500 pitches into his outing, would say, I'm good, coach, I'm good. But he did tell me not to say that even after 125 pitches through 10 innings, that he looked fine and he could have gone more. So that's lined foul out of play. I'm saying it now because he's blown well past the 125. He said not to say it on the air so I don't give him any ideas. I feel like maybe Coach Palmer got the idea himself and said, yeah, we're doing it. So we're at pitch 144 currently. Fouled off again, 2-2.
Yeah, it's quite incredible. Over 140 pitches in a game. I'm not sure I've seen that at any level of baseball game that I've ever watched. I'm not sure I've seen a pitcher throw more than 140 pitches in a single game.
Fouled off again. Preston making him work. I feel like we're just going to leave the Bell Center. We're going to be walking back, and then we're going to look on the ground, and we're going to be like, oh, that's Brendan Beard's arm. There it is. It fell off. Grounded. First baseman throws it to Beard, and that's out number 1.
It just goes to show what a special pitcher he really is. Very few people have that stamina, not just to throw this many pitches, but to have the command still and to have the preciseness to cause that weak contact, to strike that batter out, to have that ball be a lazy fly ball.
Pinch hitter in for Trinity, it's Cal Coney. Tigers with only 3 hits on the game so far. Also committed 4 errors defensively. Ripped foul into the screen.
At this point, we're approaching breaking the 150 pitch barrier. 150 pitches.
Oh-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, that's strike 3, 2 away in the 9th.
And once again, just excellent work. Just excellent work. There's very few things you could say Brendan Beard has done wrong tonight. The only things have been the hit batters and the walks. That hasn't even happened in quite a while now. He's been on fire in the latter part of this game, which is crazy to say for a guy who's thrown almost 150 pitches.
Another pinch hitter in for Trinity, it's Diego Gomez. Takes ball 1.
We've seen Beard pop off a couple times going back into the dugout. If he gets this final out, I can't imagine the reaction.
Pitch misses, it's 1-1. I wonder what the record is for pitches thrown by a TLU arm in a game. I don't know it, but I would assume he's getting there.
I've got to imagine. We know they've had a guy go 11 innings.
Strike call, 2-1.
So I'm curious to see his stat line. But I have a feeling that either way, something special has happened here tonight.
Strike 2. 1 strike away from his 2nd consecutive complete game. And it got him. Hit on the hands, didn't swing, and Gomez will head to first base.
I think Beard maybe disagreeing with the call a little bit, wanting it to be said that it went off the knob of the bat perhaps. It looked pretty close, but it did come in on the hands of Gomez. So base runner for the Tigers, but still feels like all the momentum for Beard.
Beard working against another pinch hitter for the Tigers. Looks like this is Brett Jones. Made a start in that game against McMurray. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see what the pitch count is for Beard right now. Internet connection, not the best on top of the Bell Center. Fortunately, not an internet tower.
Strike 2. One strike away. TLU trying to win 10 consecutive. Fouled off, we'll do it again.
Either way, it is north of 150 pitches at this point.
And we'll add at least one more. See it on your screen now. That was 160.
160 pitches. It's unbelievable. It's almost Nolan Ryan-esque for how long he can go.
Popped up. Sky high, playable for Green. Makes the catch. 161 and done. Brendan Beard, his consecutive complete game as TLU beats Trinity 5-0. What a night for him.
What a night, to say the least. Brendan Beard, I mean, what else can we say about him? Great pitcher, hit his locations, had his command the entire way, threw 161 pitches. It never felt like his command was slipping, he was getting tired or anything. If anything, perhaps if he needed to, he could have gone another batter or two if he got into a bases-loaded jam. And, you know, that's not to forget, all these Bulldog fielders did great. They're the best fielding team in the SCAC for a reason. Every outfielder, Godot and Drain and Kessler, all made highlight reel catches in the outfield to prevent the Tigers from scoring or having a base runner. So really an entire team effort for the Bulldogs. Even though Brendan Beard is perhaps going to get the glory, everyone deserves a thumbs up on this roster.
The 10th consecutive win for Texas Lutheran. They'll be here again tomorrow to face Jackson Tier, another one of the premier pitchers in the SCAC. As for Trinity, it breaks up a 9-game winning streak. I should apologize. 8 consecutive victories for Texas Lutheran. Would have been 10 for Trinity. They don't get it done. They lose 5-0. Unable to carry the momentum that they got from that 24-hit performance last Tuesday against McMurray. They'll try and rebound, and even this series tomorrow, it'll be a day game. Jackson Tier on the mound for the Tigers. Will definitely want to tune in for that one. That'll do it for us on Tiger Network. For everybody working the cameras, for everybody in the control room, and for my partner, Reed Rosales, I'm Cole Isaacson saying so long from San Antonio. Have a good rest of your night.